Gourds are extremely versatile, and I think that's what blew me away. They really do speak to me. When you see a gourd right off at first, based on the shape, based on the coloration, it's almost like it tells me this is what I'm supposed to be. I started making gourds about 20 years ago. I discovered gourds as an art medium and immediately felt a resonance with this art form. It was like a connection that I couldn't explain. I was so fascinated by them, but I wasn't quite sure if I could do them. I thought I would take a big risk and try my very first gourd, and if I could do this one, I could keep on going. And so this is my very first gourd right here. After that, I figured if I can start here, I can keep on going. Chukma, so hocha fot fochik hitla mitcha Donna Welch. Hello, my name is dancing star and Donna Welch, and I am a Chickasaw gourd artist. It's a very satisfying moment to see this piece come alive, because it was already alive on the vine, and now it's coming alive again as a piece of art. So this is a rain gourd. It started out as a snake gourd, and it was the same color as a raw gourd here. I first had to cut the gourd in half, and so where this leather is actually the seam where it was cut in half. So there's probably 30 to 40 layers of paint on here that were dripped layer after layer, going from white up to the darkest blue, because I wanted it to look more like rain running off of a rock or off of a window, something that would remind you of the water flowing. There are beads and beans inside of there that bounce off of the nails that I've pushed into the gourd, and so it sounds like rain on a tin roof. This particular gourd, I wanted to make into a thunder gourd. I drew the circle where I would cut it out, because this is where the drum head would go. Then scrape all of the seeds and pulp out, so there's nothing inside, so it's literally a hollow piece. And then I'll use a wood burner and come back and wood burn over all of the areas of my design. There's a lot of anticipation that happens, that this is what it's gonna be. But just like life, sometimes that doesn't happen. And oftentimes it's those accidents that happen that turn out to be even better than what originally started. So after the wood burning is done, then I'll use a power tool to come back and cut out all the holes. After the wood burning and after the carving, then I go into the final stages of embellishment. So the painting, the beadwork. I also use stains, just like you would use wood stain. I rub that on and then buff it out. After I've cut out the holes and I've added the paint to it, I add a leather piece up here, the drum head and the spring, and then it will sound like thunder. This isn't a traditional piece. However, our ancestors would have used the gourds for drums or rattles. And so to me, this is a new take on what our ancestors would have done if they had had these types of materials. For thousands of years since the beginning, our ancestors have used gourds in our ancestral homes, like the bowls like this one or the ones up front. They would be used to store seeds or maybe precious items that the family wanted to keep in a container and protected. I feel a sense of pride when I'm finished with everything, but I can't wait to get started on the next one. I would like to pass this art form on to the next generation of Chickasaw citizens so that they can embrace this part of their culture. I hope someday in the future that when I have grandchildren, that I would be able to pass it on to them as well. It's nice to know that through my art form, I can bring some joy and happiness to people that experience it.